That's what I'm talking about.
Steve, can you make it to Buffalo by 4?
Anyone seen Steve?
Enjoy your trip.
We will.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We know why you fly. We're American Airlines.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the Yes Network, the home of champions.
I think every game this year may feel like a playoff game just because the fans and the excitement of being in that new stadium. I think everybody's just going to feel a boost of energy from it.
Having pinstripes on and in this new stadium is going to feel a little weird. But once we come back and make it home, and we get going during the season, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a good year.
There's a lot of excitement. I think everyone's looking forward to getting up there and seeing how the surface is and seeing what the facility's like. I know it's a wonderful facility. I think the fans are going to love it. But I think us as players, we're as excited as the fans.
Tonight marks the dawn of a new era. A first glimpse at the culmination of imagination and ingenuity. It began in earnest with a ceremony marking the beginning of an historic project. For 2 years, we've watched the shadows of the new structure rise from the South Bronx landscape. And now, the dream has become a reality. A new cathedral for a new era. Tonight, the doors open for the first time with a simple message. Welcome home. It is an amazing sight to behold, and perhaps this is the first time you've seen the inside of the new Yankee Stadium. You see the state-of-the-art high-tech board out in center field. There is a wide shot as the fans now are showing up, and there are plenty of fans already who want to get a taste of this first time here at the new Yankee Stadium. And we're glad you're with us here on the Tri-State Ford pregame as you see the fans excited about what they're seeing, and the reviews so far have been very good. Bob Lorenz and John Flaherty with you on the Tri-State Ford pregame, and I guess the thing we should note right off the bat is it's rained all day. They just took the tarp off the field to cheers. Probably cheers from the players, too, because as a player, you got to be happy about a state-of-the-art drainage system on the field.
Bob, the Yankees come from spring training. They're excited about starting the season, seeing the new stadium. It's nice when you have a state-of-the-art facility. The drainage is not going to be a problem. They have the batting cages underneath. They're ready to play baseball.
Speaking of batting cages, about an hour from now, it'll be the Yankees and the Cubs in the first-ever exhibition game here at the new Yankee Stadium. Now, last time you saw this ballpark, John, was back in August. That's been almost 8 months now. What's changed? What are you feeling?
I saw it in August, Bob, when it was pretty much just a big structure, a lot of concrete. You didn't have the seats in. I was amazed today walking up to the stadium, and it kind of has that old feel. And then you get in the great hall. You see some of the pictures of the all-time Yankee greats, and then you bring yourself out to the field. State-of-the-art playing surface. The seats are amazing. Overall, it's just a great place to play baseball.
Well, you mentioned the great hall, and it is something to behold. It's between gates 4 and 6 if you show up here along the right field line, and that's where we find Kim Jones. Kim, what's happening in there?
Hello, Bob and John. A lot's happening here. These folks are absolutely loving it here at the Great Hall. They're loving their first look at the new Yankee Stadium. And why wouldn't they? This place is unbelievable. As you mentioned, 31,000 square feet right here between gates 4 and 6, and a loud group to boot. We are in very good company, by the way, given the banners that are here. We are right between Mickey Mantle and Dave Winfield. Banners lining this great hall. It is a beautiful sight. One thing we should get to, some facts and figures about this new Yankee Stadium. The capacity, 52,325. 20,000 light bulbs. How many people does it take to change those? 15,000 gallons of paint, 11,800 tons of steel. Like we've mentioned, 31,000 square feet here in the Great Hall, and 26 ticket windows, so you'll have no trouble finding the one you need. But this clearly is a great atmosphere here tonight for this exhibition. And guys, this stadium does have a capacity a few thousand less than old Yankee Stadium, but one thing is bigger: the individual seats. They've gone from 18 to 22 inches up to 19 to 24 because, guys, unfortunately, our fannies have all gotten a lot bigger since 1923.
All right, Kim, I get what you're saying. I'm an anchor man. I sit on my chair a lot. Could you be a little more subtle next time, please?
Baby got back, Bob.
Hey, what else do you have for us on the show, Kim?
We got a lot coming up. We will, of course, talk to the captain, Derek Jeter. We will have lineups for you from the field because you just said, hey, the tarp's off. We're going to have baseball tonight, and we'll even talk a little bit about the Chicago Cubs.
All right, Kim, look forward to that and a lot more. Just want to throw one other thing at you, an impression. We saw the scoreboard in the opening shot. Get this, it's 59 feet by 101 feet. Just take a guess how many LED bulbs are in that thing.
I can't even imagine, Bob. You have this fact for me, don't you?
I do. 8.6 million. It is the highest resolution scoreboard in the world. So we'll see a little more of that throughout the course of the show. Now, I was just on the giant screen, by the way. Did you see that?
I didn't get a chance to see that. How about Michael Kay's head on the big screen? That'll be interesting.
You know how sensitive he is about that stuff, Flash. Come on, I mean, if that huge head was... No, I can't go there.
Let's not
anyway,
even go there.
We should ask Michael about that later. He'll be joining us. Hey, let's get to our Toyota text poll, shall we? Is something to kind of save the both of us. We want to know this. Which Yankees starting pitcher will win the most games this season? You can text your vote to 58772. Here are your choices. 1 would be CC Sabathia. 2, Chien-Ming Wang. Is it a bounce-back season for him? Maybe another 19-win season. A.J. Burnett, another of the new acquisitions, would be 3. And then maybe you think it could be somebody else, a job at Chamberlain. Perhaps Andy Pettit or Flash, you think maybe somebody else could jump in there?
Oh, there's plenty of guys in the minor leagues. They got some serious depth now. Phil Hughes had a great spring training. Ian Kennedy's down there. Aceves is down there. So overall, I think the Yankees have tremendous pitching depth. I look for Chien-Ming Wang to have a big year, though, Bob.
All right, so we're going to go through the entire rotation a little bit later. Again, that's your Toyota text poll. We will have the results later during the game. But coming up next, we're going to take a look back. It has been 2.5 years in the making, and it is a sight to behold. We'll have the building of the new Yankee Stadium coming up right after this on the Tri-State Ford pregame.
The Yankees pregame show on Yes is presented by Ford. Check out the best-selling vehicles in America. Drive one at your Tri-State Ford dealer.
Announcing the Ford Advantage Plan, a better plan to get you into a quality-built Ford. While others say there's no credit available, with Ford Credit there is. Check for pre-approval at FordVehicles.com. And if you lose your paycheck, we'll make your payments for up to 12 months. Quality, credit, and payment protection. That's the Ford Advantage Plan. Now get 0% financing for 72 months on a new 2009 Ford Fusion. Visit your Tri-State Ford dealer and drive one.
Tomorrow, it's all Yankees all day long, starting with a special Mike Francesa show live from the new Yankee Stadium, leading up to the Cubs versus Yankees exhibition game at the Bombers' new home in the Bronx, followed by the season premiere of the Joe Girardi Show. It all starts tomorrow morning at 10, only on Yes.
Why move? Just improve. Let the experts help you create a more comfortable, efficient, and beautiful living space now while maximizing the value of your home. Start with the most preferred basement remodeling brand in America, the Owens Corning Basement Finishing System. Turn that wasted space into your favorite place. It installs in about 2 weeks and is backed by a lifetime limited warranty. Or create additional space with an Owens Corning fiberglass SunSuite sunroom. Its energy-efficient design provides the comfort you expect from the Owens Corning brand. And turn pink into green with Owens Corning Solace Windows. Beautiful and efficient, Owens Corning Solace Windows can help you use less energy, produce fewer emissions, and save on your home's heating and cooling costs. So why move when you can improve? Go with the brand you know and trust, Owens Corning.
Call for your free in-home consultation. Qualified buyers make no payments until 2010. Call 1-800-NEW-ROOM or visit owenscorningnewroom.com.
Well, it's not only a big night here on Yes, but it is a big week ahead. In fact, opening day week will be brought to you by Firestone, and here's what we have on tap for you. The regular season opener comes at you Monday in Baltimore. That first pitch will be a little after 4 o'clock, but our pregame coverage on Yes begins at 3. Again, opening day week, and it's presented by Firestone. Good to have you back once again here on the Tri-State Ford pregame as we get a feel for the new Yankee Stadium. We have shown you some pictures, but it's amazing to think that just 2.5 years ago, this was little more than dirt and dust. Let's take a look at the building of the new stadium.
We're relying on you to take the memories from this stadium, add them to the new memories that come at the new Yankee Stadium, and continue to pass them on from generation to generation.
A dream had begun to manifest itself on August 16th of 2006 when the first shovels hit the dirt. Until then, there had only been a vision.
The vision of the new Yankee Stadium came about from George Steinbrenner's leadership and the entire Steinbrenner family and the leadership team at the Yankees. What we wanted to do was recreate the original Yankee Stadium.
It's going to give our fans a lot of nostalgia, a lot of feelings of nostalgia, and it was very important for us to do just that. The other important thing, of course, was the fan experience itself, that we made a modern facility with the most modern, updated amenities.
That vision quickly became concrete. In fact, there would be approximately 45,000 cubic yards of concrete, 11,800 tons of structural steel in over 30,000 pieces, 15,000 gallons of paint, 946 miles of electrical wire, 17,100 linear feet of irrigation pipe. Add a little New York pride, some pinstriped love, and what you are left with is arguably the greatest arena the world has ever seen. Yankee Stadium is a monument, eagerly awaiting new memories and magical moments yet to be made. While it is an homage to the original, Yankee Stadium is also something brand new. A cathedral of baseball that reaches higher to the heavens than ever before. The diamond in the Bronx is the same size, but it now shines brighter than ever imagined. The magnificent details can only be attributed to the stadium's architects.
The architect of this building was Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig and Mickey Mantle and Joe DiMaggio and Yogi Berra. They're the architects. So what we had to do is take a look at the old frieze, the auxiliary scoreboards that are in left center and right center, and say, look, we have to rebuild Yankee Stadium as the fans today remembered, and that's what we did.
Yankee Stadium is a paradox. The curator of a glorious past, as well as an icon of the future. It is a promise kept, proving that the Yankees continue to symbolize the greatness of New York, that they will continue to invest their resources towards the pursuit of perfection, and that they will maintain and uphold the traditions set by the royal spirits that now haunt a palace worthy of the name, the New York Yankees. Well, some of the numbers in terms of what they built are staggering. The thousands of pounds of steel, the millions of pounds of limestone and granite. Some numbers that haven't changed, though, the dimensions of the actual field. But that's not the case for the real estate flash behind home plate. 20 less feet. That's great for the fans and their view. What does it mean for the catcher?
You know, being a guy who caught at the old stadium, Bob, and you had all that real estate behind home plate where if a ball got by you, there might have been two bases that the runner would have been able to advance. This is a lot more cozy behind home plate. I think Jorge Posada, Jose Molina are going to enjoy that part of it. Also, there's some more foul territory kind of where we're sitting right now, right off of the dugouts. That should be an advantage for the pitchers.
Now, let me ask you a quick question about the players getting out here yesterday. A first look. I mean, doing little things. Johnny Damon was checking out left field, the foul territory, as you mentioned. Getting balls carrying off walls. How important is that for them to kind of kick the tires on the place?
Well, you know, it's going to take some time. It's not just going to be a workout where you have it all figured out. The auxiliary scoreboard in left field, Johnny Damon's going to have to figure out how the ball bounces off of that on a fly ball. How does the ball carry him in the corner? I mean, these are things that the Yankees are just going to have to learn by experience. You can't just get one day out on the field and figure it out, but obviously the more reps they get, the more comfortable they'll feel.
All right, we're talking about real estate on the field, and one of the most hallowed pieces of real estate, of course, is center field. It's been played by legends of the game, and if we go back to 1923 in the opening of the original Yankee Stadium, it was Whitey Witt who was playing center field. Then when they refurbished the old Yankee Stadium, Mickey Rivers, the icon, was in center field. That was in 1976. And now, as the new stadium opens in 2009, it's Brett Gardner, a guy who really earned his spot out there this spring.
Well, Brett Gardner had an opportunity in spring training to win the starting job, and he took full advantage of it. Everybody knows about the speed. He's going to steal plenty of bases, but Brett Gardner in spring training really had a better swing. This is from last year. You can see it's more a handsy swing, kind of slapping the ball around. This is going to be a triple that he hit to the gap. The swing that you're going to see from Gardner this year, he's using his legs more, driving the ball more, should see more doubles and triples.
Well, we see what he did in the spring, and just to add to that, the home runs and the extra base hits, and you feel we might see more doubles and triples and maybe even a few more home runs from Brett than we're used to?
You know, the 3 home runs in spring training, that's not going to transfer over. Brett Gardner is not going to become a guy who hits 20 home runs. I think the biggest difference are those hard ground balls, the line drives that get through the infield. Brett Gardner has to stay on top of the ball, hit hard ground balls. I think using his legs is going to be able to drive the ball through the infield.
Real quick thought before we go to break. He's in the 9 hole That's what Joe Girardi decided. It kind of resets that lineup for Derek Jeter at the top, doesn't it?
And it takes a lot of pressure off of Brett Gardner. He's going to be a leadoff type guy, but hitting in the 9th spot, just play center field, catch everything that's hit out there, try to get on base and just steal a bunch of bases. He should have a nice year.
All right, we will take a break now. When we come back, we're going to talk about food. It's a subject Flash likes. We know Paul O'Neill likes it, and Kim Jones does as well. In fact, she singled out one particular new restaurant here at Yankee Stadium.
Coming up, we'll get a first-hand look at one of the great new restaurants here at the stadium, NYY Steak. We have plenty of food to choose from, but I'm going to start with dessert.
That's the money you could be saving with Geico.
What? I know.
Geico.
Tell me who's watching. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Paying too much for suits is now officially out of style. Buy one ladies' suit, get one free. But hurry in, this offer ends soon. K&G Fashion Superstore. Fashion without the victim.
25 years ago, when I started making pizzas, everything was pretty low tech. Just a mixer and oven and some extra space in a broom closet. Now you can order online. It just keeps getting better.
To celebrate Papa John's 25th anniversary, get a medium cheese pizza for just 25 cents when you buy a large 3-topping pizza, only when you order online.
25 years of better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
For a limited time, get a medium cheese pizza for just 25 cents, only at papajohns.com.
Everybody down! This is the hold-up!
Don't be a hero. I'm not. I've got DirecTV, so I can set my home DVR from here. My favorite show's on tonight. That is so cool.
DirecTV lets you easily set your home DVR from any cell phone or computer.
When is a sponge not a sponge? When it's a complete car wash and waxing system with a soap and wax built in. This is a complete dog washing and shampoo system. This is an all-in-one household cleanup system. This is not a sponge. When is a sponge not a sponge? When it's a SpongeTech high-tech cleaning system. SpongeTech's patented soap infusion process has perfected the way you clean everything in your life from now on. Call and get a special trial pack of all the SpongeTech cleaning products for just $14.95.
An automobile accident happens in an instant, but the suffering could last a lifetime. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car wreck, you need someone on your side. Call 1-800-RESULTS today. Icebrook and Marsh. They know the law, and they've helped injured people just like you fight to get the cash they deserve. If you've been injured in an accident, call today. 1-800-RESULTS. You need a tough, smart attorney on your side.
Icebrook and Marsh, making things right for you.
Call 1-800-RESULTS today.
All right, so you see the Hard Rock Cafe there. That's just one of the many places you can eat here at the new Yankee Stadium as we welcome you back to the Tri-State Ford pregame. More than a dozen dining and lounge options, and that goes beyond all the other places you can eat. And as I look around me, Carvel pizza, sliders, fries, chicken. Why am I talking about food? I'm getting hungry. Let's talk a little more about food as Nancy Newman tells us about the many options available.
Fresh food is the order of the day at Yankee Stadium. Almost 70% of the new concession areas have cooking capability, reducing the amount of pre-wrapped food throughout the stadium. There are 3 main locations for food and drink in the stadium. A New York-themed food court located on the third base side of the field-level concourse features fare from the likes of Nathan's, Arthur Avenue Deli, and Brother Jimmy's Barbecue, to name a few. For those who prefer outdoor dining, the Bleachers Cafe in center field is the perfect spot. Along with the 25 concession stands, 112 food and beverage carts are situated all along the concourse. The concourse in the new Yankee Stadium is much wider and more open than the hallways of the former stadium. This is to provide open views for fans to continue to enjoy the game on the field while away from their seats. But if it's too hard to follow the action on the field while putting a little mustard on your pretzel, no problem. 1,100 high-definition TV monitors throughout the stadium ensures that not one pitch should be missed.
The New York Yankees and Hard Rock Entertainment have agreed to open up Hard Rock Cafe right here in the Bronx on 161st Street and River Avenue in the right field corner of the new Yankee Stadium.
If you prefer a less traditional eating experience at a ball game, 2 premier dining establishments will be happy to seat you. The 7,000-square-foot Hard Rock Cafe will feature Yankees memorabilia along with its traditional rock and roll collection. And a new venture, NYY Steak, will offer a more upscale dining experience with views of the field. And both will be open all year round. Membership restaurants include the Audi Yankees Club and the Mohegan Sun Sports Bar. And if your beverage of choice at a game is not a Pepsi or a beer, just place your order with our mixologist at the Martini Bar.
All right, so as you can see, so many options here at the new Yankee Stadium. Now, it goes well beyond, as we saw, just a hot dog, peanuts, Cracker Jacks. Not that there's anything wrong with that. In fact, you might ask yourself, does Kim Jones like that kind of food? I can answer that. The answer is an emphatic yes. However, she found another place that she particularly enjoys, and she brought a special friend with her. Kim?
All right, we're here with the best assignment of the day here at NYY Steak, and you never know who you're going to be seated with at the steakhouse here at Yankee Stadium. Well, hello, John Flaherty.
Ma'am, it's great to see you.
I ordered enough for 2, as you can see.
Or for 4. There's a lot of food on this table.
Let's talk about the new stadium. What is your first impression?
Well, it's overwhelming. This is the first time I've been here. Actually, I was here in August, and it was, a bunch of concrete. But to see the finished product, the field looks amazing. The fans are fired up. And to be in this great restaurant, it's going to be a lot of fun.
This restaurant's going to be a lot of fun. But put on your catcher's mask for us for just a moment. For Jorge Posada, Jose Molina, what's the adjustment like?
There's been a lot of talk about the batter's eye, and maybe it's not as big as the old stadium with the black seats. I think that's going to be an adjustment for the catchers, kind of picking up the baseball coming out of the pitcher's hand. The hitters, it's going to be the same thing. How do the lights play here at the stadium? How can you pick up the ball, pick up rotation? It's going to be adjustments for a few days.
We have 52 ounces of steak in front of us. You've got the porterhouse. I've got the long bone ribeye. You want to take a bite? Let us know how it is?
Let's do it, yeah.
All right. We also have a raw sampler, a little seafood, bone-in halibut, some Maryland lump crab cakes in honor of the Orioles series, I believe. We have some crispy chicken.
We got some salad,
a little salad if you're interested in salad.
We'll finish off the meal with the salad. The steak was delicious. How about coming here, Kim, before a game? If you're a fan, being able to come in, grab a nice meal, then go out and watch a baseball game. I think the only thing better would be a nice glass of wine for us. But unfortunately, we have to work tonight. So
yeah, they already nixed that for us, John. But, you never know who you're going to see at the steakhouse. And I'm thinking maybe we should take some of this to go back to the booth. What do you think?
Well, I'm sure Paul O'Neill will crush all of this. We know how much he can eat, so he would take in this whole table, no problem.
All right, let's send it back to Bob, and we're going to eat. Ciao.
All right, so before I get an official food review, that is the most gentlemanly I've ever seen you eat. Usually when I eat with Flash and I'm next to him, I've got a poncho on to make the food's flying everywhere. How was the food?
There was a lady involved. I had to use my best manners. I'll tell you what, the food there at the NYY Steak was delicious. Obviously, you saw me chowing down on the porterhouse. I had the crispy chicken in there. It was fantastic. And, it's a place where we're going to want to bring our wives, have a nice dinner, maybe a glass of wine or 2, and then watch a ball game.
Well, you said it's NYY Steak. You said the chicken was one of the best things you had.
The chicken was outstanding. It was called a crispy chicken, and they treated us fabulous in there this afternoon, so I will definitely be a repeat customer.
See, what other show can you go to where you get not only baseball, but you get a little taste, a little foodie? Thank you. By the way, do you think Paul O'Neill is a little upset he didn't get to do that segment?
I think Paul might be frequenting that restaurant or ordering in during the game. We'll see if he gets some takeout tonight.
They'll have him on speed dial, one or the other. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about one of the other beautiful amenities here at the new Yankee Stadium, and that is the Players Clubhouse. It is 2.5 times the size of the old one, and here's a look inside. You see some of the lockers. They have computers in them. They have the backlit frieze up above. The lockers are about twice as big as the old ones. It's kind of a football shape, and well, as a player, you got to love that, just having first-class amenities like that.
Well, you know, the clubhouse, the players' area, that's your home away from home. I mean, these guys are going to spend pretty much all year long in there. You want it to feel spacious. You want to have plenty of room. Obviously, everybody knows about the media in New York. They take up a lot of space. But these players are spoiled, and they'll be the first ones to admit it. It's a top-notch facility. They're going to have plenty of opportunities to get their work in. The weight room's fabulous. So all in all, the players are just ecstatic.
So as you take a look at this, and I want to add this, by the way, in the trainer's room, they have that one spa that has the underwater treadmill, and they can actually go down below and look through a window and check the muscles out and make sure everything's fine.
Okay, that might be a little bit too much information for me, a little bit too high tech. I was a little more old school. But like I said, the players are spoiled, and it's funny listening to them. They're the first ones to admit it. They're loving this place.
Just trying to give you a feel for the new ballpark. All right, in the meantime, let's talk about some of the guys who are occupying that clubhouse as we look at some of the new free agent acquisitions. Mark Teixeira was a guy who came late. They came in late on Mark Teixeira, got him to play first base and lock down that position. And then CC Sabathia and A.J. Burnett signed up. You remember the press conference at the same time. How much does that change not only the face of the franchise, but the winning fortunes of the franchise?
Well, Brian Cashman and the front office of Steinbrenner family, they went out and did everything that they had to do for this Yankee ball club. They needed help in the rotation. You get the top lefty, you get the top righty, and then you get a switch-hitting first baseman who can play some gold glove first base. So I think all in all, the front office did what they have to do. Now, for these three new acquisitions, now it's a little different. It's not Tampa anymore. It's not spring training. You're back home. The Yankee fans expect a championship this year. They're hoping to have a good couple of games here, go on the road, get off to a good start. So when you can't come back home for opening day, the fans are all excited to see you.
Now, when I talked to CC and AJ at spring training, they mentioned that, you know, one guy pitches, let's say 7, the next guy wants to go 8. There's always that little internal challenge. Some staffs aren't like that. Of the staffs that you've caught, what have you noticed? What traits do those staffs have?
Well, this staff reminds me of 03 when we had David Wells, Roger Clemens, Pettit, Mussina, and Weaver, and it was competition. They fed off each other every day. I loved seeing the staff in spring training, following the starter into his ball game, watching his bullpen, following him in, really paying attention. It's kind of a collective effort.
All right, we're going to take another timeout. When we come back, much more on the Tri-State Ford pregame from the new Yankee Stadium. A chat with the captain and much more after this.
Announcing the Ford Advantage Plan, a better plan to get you into a quality-built Ford. While others say there's no credit available, with Ford Credit there is. Check for pre-approval at FordVehicles.com. And if you lose your paycheck, we'll make your payments for up to 12 months. Quality, credit, and payment protection. That's the Ford Advantage Plan. Now get 0% financing for 72 months on a new 2009 Ford Fusion. Visit your Tri-State Ford dealer and drive one.
Don't look, but you're totally getting scoped out right now.
Seriously, where?
Don't look. Been staring at you for like 20 minutes.
What, that? That's the money you could be saving with Geico.
Tell me who's watching. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Paying too much for suits is now officially out of style. Buy one men's suit, get one free. But hurry in. This offer ends soon. K&G Fashion Superstore. Fashion without the victim.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Great game last night, huh?
Oh, yeah. Total domination.
Unbelievable.
Forget about it.
Hey, fellas. This is Tom. This is the first day.
I'm wicked psyched to be here. You guys ready to rent some cars?
"25 years ago, when I started making pizzas, everything was pretty low tech. Just a mixer and oven and some extra space in a broom closet. Now you can order online. It just keeps getting better.
To celebrate Papa John's 25th anniversary, get a medium cheese pizza for just 25 cents when you buy a large 3-topping pizza, only when you order online.
25 years of better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
For a limited time, get a medium cheese pizza for just 25 cents, only at papajohns.com.
It's a new Yankees season and a brand new look to YesNetwork.com. With even more Yankees highlights, interviews, and live game chats, plus original online programming and enhanced fan interaction.
Get the best Yankees coverage on the web at YesNetwork.com.
It's a lot of tradition, a lot of history, and a lot of memories. Now, the great thing about memories is you're able to pass it along from generation to generation. And although things are going to change next year, we're going to move across the street. There are a few things with the New York Yankees that never change. That's pride, it's tradition, and most of all, we have the greatest fans in the world.
Well, there's the captain, Derek Jeter, closing one chapter in Yankees history, but a new chapter being written tonight. We go over to our first base camera location. What better guy to talk to? Kim Jones standing by with Derek Jeter. Kim?
Thank you, Bob. I am here with Derek Jeter. And Derek, we just replayed the speech you made in closing the old Yankee Stadium. You said the ghosts would travel. Do you feel like the ghosts and memories are here with you at the new one?
Yeah, I think, a lot of it has to do with the atmosphere, and the fans play a huge part of that. It's been fun. We had over 20,000 people show up for a workout yesterday, so it says a lot about our fans.
Are you happy that the weather cleared? Is this a fun game because it is an exhibition, but it gives you a first look at the stadium in a game atmosphere?
Yeah, we're all looking forward to it. We're hoping that the weather would clear up, so hopefully it stays like this for the rest of the night. But, you want to get out here, you want to play some games, get things underway, and see how the field plays.
What was your first impression of this Yankee Stadium?
It's unbelievable. I think, if you're sitting around trying to design a stadium, I don't think there's anything else you could add to it.
Any idea on how the grass might play, the infield? You did have the workout yesterday, as you mentioned.
I think it'll be fine. I mean, there might be some bumps just because it's a new stadium, but I don't anticipate any problems.
With the dimensions the same, Derek, it looks remarkably like the old field, though, doesn't it?
It really does. When you're on the field, it feels like you're at home. I mean, behind home plate, I think, is a little bit closer, but other than that, it's the same look. So it's almost like the same field, just a lot bigger in the stands.
I know you've been a leadoff hitter before, and you've excelled at it, but what's your reaction to doing that going into this year?
It really doesn't make a difference to me. I mean, we've switched up the lineup so many times. I like to hit in the first inning just to hit early, but other than that, I really could care less.
How about the sense in the clubhouse right now? It was a long spring, but because we're here in New York, does it almost feel like the start of the regular season?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been a long spring for a lot of us. I missed 3 weeks, but, the guys had a great spring. We're all looking forward to getting the season underway, and we're especially looking to finally playing a game here.
Co-chairman Hal Steinbrenner yesterday said, yes, we will make the playoffs, and he also said we'll be letting down our fans if we don't win the World Series. That sounds almost like words that you've echoed in previous seasons. Do you feel the same way?
Well, yeah, it's always been like that since I've come up, right from the boss. He always expected us to go out there, play well, and win a championship. And I think if you go into a season with any other expectations or any other goals, then there's something wrong with you.
A.J. Burnett was signing autographs a few minutes ago. Do you sense that your new teammates are especially excited?
Yeah, they're looking forward to it. I mean, I think everyone. It's almost like everybody's starting over. It's a new season for us. It's a new building, and we all feel like little kids.
Good luck, Derek. I think we'll do this a few times, okay?
Hopefully. All right.
Thanks, Derek. Bob and John, back to you.
All right, Kim, thank you. It is an interesting situation because Derek Jeter, as I mentioned, created so many memories in the old Yankee Stadium. Now you've got that who had the first pitch, first hit, first home run.
Yeah, and it's going to be nice. He's going to be leading off, so he'll be the first Yankee to hit in this new stadium. That's only fitting. I think these guys, you can tell by listening to Derek, he's ready to play baseball, ready for the season to start, wants to get going.
You ready for another first?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, how about this? First toss up to the broadcast booth, the new Yankees and Yes broadcast booth. And we go up there right now. Join Michael Kay, Paul O'Neill, and David Cohn. Michael?
Well, what's going on, Bob? Obviously, we are here at this new ballpark, and that's the discussion of the day. The Yankees are playing the Cubs, and that almost seems like it's a sidebar. Everybody's talking about this ballpark, both sides. Yankees got here the other night, and when they got off the bus, they didn't go right to their car. They went right out to the field to see exactly what Santa had left them. So, David, you played at the old ballpark. You had some great moments there. What do you think of this one?
This is ridiculous. I mean, the sight lines are unbelievable. The finish, the facade from the outside is incredible. The clubhouse, Paulie, the clubhouse is with the computers and the lockers, just tremendous. I'm envious. I wish I could play in this park.
How about you, Paul? What do you think?
You know, it's funny because you walk in, it's a beautiful ballpark, but I kind of put myself in a player's standpoint coming up here, and the first thing you want to know as a hitter is how's the hitting background, how is the ball going to travel here, how's the turf, is it a quick infield? So I think they're going to try to answer a lot of those questions on how the field is going to play in the next couple of days.
Now, one of the things that they talked about yesterday, they had a workout, 20,000 people attended, that they said that the background might be a little bit small. Now, tell me how that could be a problem, Paul.
Well, I know, for instance, in Boston, if you're playing a left-handed pitcher, you lose sight of the ball because the background is small. And sometimes, I mean, Yankee Stadium, the old Yankee Stadium with the background was the best place to see the baseball because of the black seats. Everybody knew that. But, you know, if it needs to be changed, they will, but I'm sure everything will be fine.
Now, the backstop from home plate is 20 feet closer than it was across the street at the old Yankee Stadium. Good or bad for a pitcher?
I love it. I think the pitcher loves when there's less foul territory between home plate and the backstop. Makes you feel like you're on top of the hitter. Makes you feel like you can throw the ball 100 miles an hour. CC Sabathia can almost reach out and put his hand into Jorge Posada's mitt. I love that feel. Most pitchers do. It's a great feel also for the fans. The seats behind home plate, you feel like you're right on top of the action.
Now, one of the things is that the foul territory on each side is a little bit more length than they had at the old Yankee Stadium. As a hitter, I'm sure you don't want any feet out there.
Well, it might cost you a couple at-bats because of foul balls, but what Dave was talking about the closeness of the screen behind you, it's a good place to hit, too, because you feel like you're enclosed. It's not like, you know, Coney out in Oakland where you feel like you're just out in the middle of nowhere hitting. You're enclosed, you get good vision. It's just, I always like the stands close, and I think that this will play well.
Now, one thing that fans will not get a chance to experience, obviously, is what happens in that clubhouse. And that clubhouse, as David mentioned, is absolutely off the charts. And what people don't realize, Paul, is that you guys spend most of your time in that clubhouse. That's almost like a home for you. I mean, that place is unbelievable. I'm not just talking about clubhouse proper, but the stuff where the media can't even get to. It's unbelievable.
Well, you do. You spend a lot of time, and you spend a lot of important time, because if you're not out on the field, especially before big games, you're in your little cocoon in there with 25 guys waiting to take the field, and those are the times that, you know, you spend probably the most important time of the year. And you know, that's like going to the disco down there. It's not like you're hanging out in a bar somewhere.
It is amazing. There's video screens all over the place. There's meeting rooms, and as David mentioned, there's a computer screen in every single locker. So if you want to look at a swing or a delivery that you had in a previous game, or even that game that day, that's available for you as well. So the Yankees certainly have everything in place for them to be successful. Now it's up to them to be successful. Back to you, Bob.
All right, Michael, Coney, Paul, thanks. Going to the disco. Did they have a disco ball? Because I didn't see that. Did you?
I didn't see the disco ball. Paul must have got into one of those back rooms in the clubhouse, so we didn't get to see.
All right, well, that'll be interesting. We'll see if maybe we can track that down during the course of the night. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've talked a lot about the stadium. We'll talk about the action inside the stadium, and in particular, the guys who will take the hill here at the new Yankee Stadium. We'll talk about the starting rotation when we come back.
Did anyone order Iowa International? Kung Fu to the Wang family. Telenovela to the Ramirez family. Russian news over there to the Tarkovsky family. Not over there, cricket, the Gupta family.
IO International brings you the best sports, movies, shows, and news from your country in your language. Call 1-888-848-6329 and enjoy IO International.
Customer service. Yes, ma'am. Let me call up your account. It says here you recently moved.
Network's slow today. I apologize.
What you see here is the difference your network makes.
Well, where is that report? Here it is. Got it.
Is our network down again?
The network on the right is Optimum Light Path.
So how about the new field office down schedule?
Well, we're having network issues. Up and running.
Optimum serves businesses of every size. Larger companies rely on Optimum Light Path.
Photography, only on Yes.
And some of the more beautiful images of the new Yankee Stadium here. We're glad you're back with us on the Tri-State Ford pregame. And we want to get some information now from Kim Jones. First of all, Kim, you didn't see a disco ball anywhere, did you?
No disco ball, Bob. Nope, didn't see one of those yet. I've seen a lot of other things, though. This place is tremendous. The fans are really into it. In fact, just behind my cameraman, there's a sign, new home, same dream. Nothing beats this.
Well, we talked a little bit, Kim, about the players already. You talked to Derek Jeter about what he thought of the new stadium. What are some of the other reactions from the Yankees?
You know, it was mostly a one-syllable reaction, which was, wow. Yesterday at the workout, players were getting acquainted with their lockers, some decorating them more than others, as you can imagine. They also got to work out here on this field, but in the clubhouse, they were just amazed. It is a spacious clubhouse, certainly as spacious as any as I have seen in Major League Baseball. Each player with his own computer. Jabba Chamberlain saying, now I don't have an excuse to forget to leave tickets for someone. I can do it right here at my locker. So the players are loving it, and I think we can understand why. Hopefully, as the season progresses, we'll be able to show the fans a look inside that clubhouse.
Yeah, I think I saw a few guys changing their screensavers on their computers.
They did that, yes.
Kim, we do have baseball tonight, so Yankees against the Cubs. What have we got in terms of lineups?
We do have baseball tonight, and that is the very good news of this soggy day. Let's take a look at the Yankees lineup first, Bob, and of course it is Derek Jeter in the leadoff spot with Johnny Damon in left field. Mark Teixeira gets his first taste of Yankee Stadium as a Yankee. He is the first baseman. Matsui is DHing. Posada is catching tonight. Cano at second base. Nady is in right field. Ransom with a big start for him, as I'm sure he expects and his family expects a lot of excitement this month for Cody Ransom. He's at third base, and Brett Gardner is in center field. Let's look at the Cubs, where Soriano is in left field. He says he has asked Lou Piniella to please play the whole game because he wants to experience this great stadium. Some other notable Cubs, Lee is at first base. Milton Bradley, a new addition, is DHing. Reed Johnson has come over. He is the right fielder. And one other note, guys, as we do talk about the weather, I just chatted with Dave Island as he and Chin-Ming Wong headed out to the pen. I said, any thought at all of scratching Wong given the weather conditions? He said, none. They didn't consider it for a second.
All right, Kim, thanks. We will check back with you a little bit later as we see the color guard going out behind us now here at the ballpark. Now, John, let me ask you quickly about that lineup. Matsui at 4, Posada at 5. The health of these guys is key. They look very good in spring, but boy, if they're healthy, what a difference for that offense it'll make. I mean, you could pencil those guys in for about 25 and 100.
Yeah, Hideki Matsui, obviously a solid run producer. If he's healthy, pencil him in for 100 RBIs. Jorge Posada is really the key. He had a better spring than I think anybody could have expected. Now you come back here with the cold weather, the cooler weather, not really too bad tonight. I think Joe Girardi's going to have to do a nice job early on, giving him some days off, maybe on some of the cooler days, to keep that shoulder healthy.
All right, Jorge Posada, by the way, and Jose Molina get to catch some absolute studs now in this Yankees starting rotation. And in the baseball preview for Sports Illustrated, they have the Yankees, and in particular, CC Sabathia on the cover. New house, new house. Let's take a closer look at the revamped starting rotation. Here's Chris Sheeran.
After a quiet 2008 offseason, the Yankees turned out to be a snake in the grass waiting to attack the 2009 free agent market with a vengeance. In swift fashion, the Yankees addressed their pitching needs, adding to the returners from last year. The new look rotation appears to be as good as any in the game.
We felt he was the whole package, the ability to, from the left side, with all that power, all the strikeouts, and compete on an every 5-day basis.
Well, I know what everybody else knows, that he's one of the best pitchers in the game. He's a true number one. He's a horse, and he's going to give you between 200 and 260 innings a year.
CC, a workhorse like that, you know that some days he's going to give the bullpen pretty much a whole day off, or probably almost maybe but 1 or 2 guys.
You know, being in the situation I am now, I know I can go out there and handle it and you know, be that guy at the top of the rotation, or whenever they want me to pitch, to go out there and try to get a team the best chance they can to win.
Chin-Ming in 06 and 07 won 19 games in each of those years. He was well on his way to getting close to that, or maybe even bettering that last year when he went down in June out in Houston. And I think we can look forward to Chin-Ming Wong having another Chin-Ming Wong type of season.
He's the guy that comes in and helps out the defense and helps out the bullpen, you know, because he's going to throw less pitches because he throws, you know, they're going to put him in play first or second pitch. So he helps the whole team.
Everybody knows what he's capable of when he's healthy. He was able to put that type of year together this past year, leading the American League in strikeouts and and obviously approaching 20 wins.
He was lights out against us. We didn't see any bad games when he pitched against us in New York or in Toronto. So we want a right-hander power pitcher, and I think we got it in AJ.
Andy Pettit does a lot, not only on the field, but in the clubhouse as well, because he really understands what it's like to be a Yankee pitcher.
Andy brings a lot to the table. Not only the pitching, but the leadership is a key there.
You know, I've been on a lot of good pitching staffs before. This could be one of the, right there, one of the top 2 or 3 that I've been able to pitch with. And just that's it. We're looking to stay healthy. If we could stay healthy, we should be strong.
He's a 4-pitch guy. He has shut down stuff for multiple innings, not just one inning guy. He's been a starter his whole career, and we think that he's a top-end rotation guy.
He only pitched 100 innings last year, so he's not going to be a 200, 225 inning guy this year. But we want to build him towards that, so in years to come he can be, because we feel down the road he can be a top-of-the-rotation type guy.
I love to play baseball, and if they'd have said you're going to be a reliever from the get-go, it'd have been the same thing that I tell everybody. It doesn't matter. That's the way the team fitted, and that's the way I'm going to be in. But now it's as a starter, and I know that from the get-go, and that's, it's mentally soothing just because you know that that's what you're going to do and that's how you're going to prepare.
Having a rotation filled with proven starters will make life easier for Joe Girardi. He can go into every single game knowing that the Yankees are sending out a pitcher capable of getting the job done.
As far as a manager, you get excited putting those names in. You look forward to April 6th. It allows you to pencil in a starter every day. The club feels extremely well about it, and knowing that, this guy could shut him down today.
Well, it is a great luxury for Joe Girardi to have these kinds of arms, as you see the 5 pitchers there. And let's start far left, CC Sabathia. And John, how much pressure is on him? We saw the Sports Illustrated cover. Everybody knows the size of the contract, and he has to come in here and somehow carry this staff. Do you believe that? Is there pressure?
Oh, there's pressure. I mean, CC Sabathia will tell you, I am a #1 guy in the rotation, so with that comes expectations. I think it's easier for him, AJ Burnett, being on this team as well. He had a nice spring, CC Sabathia, not only on the mound, really created some chemistry with his teammates and, more importantly, his pitching staff. I think he expects to go out there and win every time. His teammates expect the same thing. So it should be a nice year, but I think AJ Burnett coming in with him takes a lot of the pressure off.
And you see what a workhorse he is, the 253 innings last season in the postseason with the Brewers, took the ball every third day. He's a gamer. He wants that ball. He says he's almost like a silent assassin. Goes about his business quietly. Now, AJ Burnett, you mentioned him, different pitcher. Says he learned a lot in Toronto, learned how to take care of his body that maybe before when he'd break down won't happen again. Do you believe that?
Well, he learned from the right guy, Roy Halladay. I mean, the guy is a Cy Young Award winner up there and throws 240, 250 innings a year. He's a good guy to learn from. AJ Burnett, when I watch him in spring training, it's like he's going about his work at about 80%, 85%. When he needs to dial it up, he can crank it up. But I think that's going to work well for him over the long haul. A little more movement on the fastball, pitch at 85%. When you need a big pitch, you'll have more for in the tank.
Did his fastball, when you saw him, surprise you at all? Because it really does jump. His hand's like a whip, and then it jumps out. It's really explosive.
The delivery is, I don't want to say Mariano Rivera, but it's nice and easy. It's under control, and then all of a sudden the ball jumps on you. And that's what I said. It looks like he's pitching at 80%. That's good news for the Yankees. He can pitch 220 innings at that workload. He's going to be in good shape at the end of the year.
I think a real interesting wild card real quickly on the staff. Andy Pettit says he's healthy. Last year he wasn't. He still had 14 wins, John.
Andy Pettit is healthy this year. He had an offseason to really prepare and get ready for a big year. I think he's flying under the radar. Chien-Ming Wang is flying under the radar. A guy who's won 19 games back-to-back years. All in all, you got 3 guys at the back end who could win 15 games with their eyes closed, so it should be a fun year for the Yankee rotation.
Wang is the starter tonight, by the way. We'll talk more about him in just a bit. Now, if there are some problems, and last year there were plenty of them in terms of injuries, they had to make some calls to AAA. Last year it didn't work out so well. In fact, they started the season with Phil Hughes, Ian Kennedy, and they eventually got sent down. Now, what do you think about that if they have to dip down to Scranton and pick up some of these guys to use them?
Fantastic would be the word that I would use. Phil Hughes had a great spring training. I was really impressed with his attitude. I think he's going to go down there and get off to a hot start. If the Yankees need somebody, he's probably the first one to come back. Kennedy had some time last year. Kagawa had a nice spring. Brett Tomko really did a nice job, was in the bid for a long relief spot, and Aceves the same thing. They have 5 quality arms if they need somebody to go down to AAA, and whoever's hot is going to get the call.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about tonight's starter, Chien-Ming Wang. Could it be a bounce-back season to another 19-win season? We'll get John's thoughts right after this.
Announcing the Ford Advantage Plan, a better plan to get you into a quality-built Ford. While others say there's no credit available, with Ford Credit there is. Check for pre-approval at FordVehicles.com. And if you lose your paycheck, we'll make your payments for up to 12 months. Quality, credit, and payment protection. That's the Ford Advantage Plan. Now get 0% financing for 72 months on a new 2009 Ford Fusion. Visit your Tri-State Ford dealer and drive one.
I faced one of the toughest challenges of my life right here. I couldn't swim, but I can still hear my drill instructor today. Don't quit. So I jumped in, apprehensive and scared out of my mind, but I came up a Marine.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
Honey, it's the money we could be saving with Geico.
Tell me.
I'm on it.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
It's the money you could be saving with Geico. He's not much for conversation, but if he was, it would be a conversation about saving you money.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Great game last night, huh?
Oh, yeah. Total domination.
Unbelievable.
Forget about it.
Hey, fellas. This is Tom. This is the first day.
I'm wicked psyched to be here. You guys ready to rent some cars?
The game is about to start. Go to papajohns.com to order your pizza now. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Well, earlier in the show, so we welcome you back to the Tri-State Ford pregame. We had a chance to kind of show you some of the sights and sounds of the restaurants. One of the places we gave you, I guess you could say, a taste of was the Hard Rock Cafe. But yesterday, well, we enjoyed some of the sounds of the Hard Rock Cafe as well. The Yankees holding sort of a ceremony to open that restaurant with some of the icons of New York music. DMC from the rap group Run DMC was there. You see some of the terrific people who have been on the landscape of New York music for so many years. Scott Ian from Anthrax right there, and of course, who else but the man who has the pinstripe guitar, the number 51 on it. The former center fielder Bernie Williams was there to play some of his music, sing with some Bronx school kids, and a version to Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And then we asked him, what does he think about the ball games in the ballpark here?
It's going to be very exciting. Obviously the building is just impressive. They did a great job, and I can't wait.
What's one thing you're looking forward to coming here?
Well, I think basically watching the games, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how, the whole atmosphere and the whole, excitement transfers from the old stadium to the new stadium, though. So it's going to be very interesting to see.
What was your first, when you took a look at the field, what's the first reaction that you had after playing so many years across the street?
Well, it's my first reaction was like it was kind of hard to let the old stadium go, but this stadium is pretty. So I don't know. I think it's going to be great for them to have the opportunity to play in this stadium.
Bernie loves to play music. We just had some music with the marching band going right by us here. Give me some thoughts on Bernie. We saw him a little bit at spring training. He's back here. He's kind of back in the Yankees family. We saw him when they closed the stadium, and that was a great moment.
It was great to see him in the last game of the last stadium last year. It was awesome. It's good to see him in spring training. Great to see Bernie back in the mix. When you think about one of the all-time great Yankees, Bernie Williams almost at the top of that list.
Now, Chin-Ming Wong would like to etch his name among the Yankee greats in terms of pitchers, and he was off to that kind of start. He's among tonight's starters. Ted Lilly, the left-hander, the former Yankee, going for the Cubs tonight. These are their spring numbers. And you look at what Wong did. He just wants to have that bounce-back season. from what you saw in spring training, can he do that?
Oh, yeah, he's healthy now. The foot isn't a problem. I love the spot that Chien-Ming Wang is in right now. He's been an ace for the Yankees the last couple of years, the #1 guy in the rotation. Now you fall down to maybe 3, and the expectations aren't as high. You almost fly under the radar. Whenever you have that good sinking fastball, you're going to have a good year. He was having a solid year last year until the injury. I'd look for a real big year from Chien-Ming Wang.
And you know what was a shame? When he went down with that foot injury, and by the way, if it sounds like we're yelling, it's because they are amping up the volume here. So don't be alarmed. We're still having fun. We're not yelling. It was interesting because he was just starting to find that good hard sinker when he got injured, and that was a shame.
It was. You know, Chien-Ming Wang, it's all about mechanics. When he can shorten up that stride, he gets better movement down in the zone. Dave Island finally had that figured out where he was getting that good movement. Unfortunately, the injury came around. If you look for a bright side, his arm should be well rested to throw at least 200 innings this year.
All right, now let's talk about the bullpen and the guys who are behind the starters as we take a look at Chien-Ming Wang. He's out there getting some of his reps in the bullpen right now. So here's a look at the overall bullpen. Of course, we know that Mo will close things out. Brian Bruni is part of it. Damaso Marte and Phil Koch are the left-handers. Jose Veras, Jonathan Albaladejo, and Edward Ramirez are out there as the right-handers. Now, a guy who made a really big impact late last season, Phil Koch, who just seemed to handle pressure so well.
Well, the one thing that was impressive about Phil Koch, when he came up, he threw strikes. He was able to repeat his delivery, has a nice slider, but the most impressive thing, he doesn't walk anybody. He comes right at you. He has had an outstanding spring training. What I like about Koch, and Joe Girardi will use him for multiple innings, he's not just a situational lefty. If they need a long guy, you see the numbers for spring training, outstanding. He can be a long guy, he can be a situational guy. He really offers a lot to the Yankee bullpen.
And I think what's interesting is people are saying as good as he was last year, let's see it for a whole season, which I think is fair. You want to see it on a consistent basis.
Yeah, but what we saw with the delivery, he repeats it, so you should see that consistency from Phil Koch. I'm really interested to see how Brian Bruni does this year. If you're talking about an 8th inning guy, he's probably going to get the first opportunity to fill that role.
Okay, a couple quick questions. We got about a minute left. Who's your 8th inning guy if you had to send somebody out there?
Brian Bruni's going to get the opportunity. If he takes advantage of it, it'll be his. Jose Veras will get the next shot to do it, but Brian Bruni's going to be the first guy out of that bullpen in the 8th inning.
And wrapping it up in the 9th, he's either bionic or a cyborg now, I think. Mariano Rivera had one of his best springs ever.
Yeah, and he flew under the radar too. He had the surgery, and then he goes out there and has a solid spring. So all in all, the Yankees very happy with what he did down in Tampa.
All right, Flash, good stuff. We've enjoyed being with you for the last hour, giving you a feel for the ballpark. When we come back, you can see the ceremony is about to begin here at the new Yankee Stadium as we get set for the first exhibition game and first ball game ever here at the new ballpark. Yankees and Cubs, and it's coming up next on Yes. Enjoy it, and John and I will see you along with Kim Jones on the post-game show after the game. Take care.
With a rearmed rotation and a reloaded lineup, the Yankees are ready for opening day, Monday. The 09 season begins in Baltimore as CC Sabathia makes his Yankees debut against the Orioles. Yankees, Orioles, opening day coverage starts Monday at 3 only on Yes. Presented by Firestone, a tradition of innovation.
The New York Yankees, most successful franchise of the century.
The Yankeeography Mega Set contains the story of every Yankee legend throughout the team's illustrious history. Yankee pride is in full display with nearly 50 hours of content, including all 34 episodes of the Emmy Award-winning series from Major League Baseball Productions. So enjoy Yankee tradition with the Yankeeography Mega Set.
If you're like some drivers, you could be suffering from importitis, the irrational belief that imports are better cars. Luckily, relief is here. The 09 Chevy Malibu. It's a proven winner, looks great, and has incredible fuel economy. So say goodbye to imports and feel better about your car. Get an 09 Malibu LS with an EPA estimated 30 highway MPG for around $22 grand. Find your nearest dealer on ChevyOffers.com.
Right now at Men's Warehouse, when you buy one designer suit, you'll get one free. That's right, 2 suits for less than the price of one at a department store. You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
It's gonna be a late one, people.
Now you want people to watch me on DirecTV tonight.
Relax, setting my home DVR right from here. You know, you're a little scary up close.
DirecTV lets you easily set your home DVR from any cell phone or computer.
I like this one.
Thank you. Excuse me, sir! Can you tell me which coffee tastes better?
Hey, definitely.
This one. Thank you.
In a national taste test, more hard-working Americans preferred the taste of Dunkin' over Starbucks. Want to try the coffee that won? You can do it. America runs on Dunkin'. Pick up 6 of your favorite donuts for only $3 at Dunkin' Donuts today.
It's an all-new season of W.B. Mason presents The Joe Girardi Show.
That's Joe Girardi. Joe, you're the star of the show.
I love it.
Every week, something's going to happen with the Yankees. We'll look back at that.
Training wheels are off.
We'll take a look ahead at the teams that the Yankees will face in the week upcoming.
Should be a great weekend.
We'll talk about all the news of the week as well.
He's diving. He's going to his left. He's going to his right.
And you're going to get a chance to talk to the Yankee manager yourself.
That's a great question.
W.B. Mason presents The Joe Girardi Show. Season premiere Saturday at 4.
Only on Yes.
Reggie Jackson has seen 2 pitches.
David Cone is 1 out. Tying run, second and third, 2 out.
They're 1 strike away from their 100.
We go to the bottom of the 11th. Here's Aaron Boone to lead off.
Deep to left. It is good. 27 up, 27 down. Baseball immortality.
The Yankees are champions of baseball.
That's one of the greatest games you will ever see.
Yankees Classics, the greatest Yankees games ever. Only on Yes. He's New York's #1 sports authority.
If you don't think that matters, well, you're dead wrong. It matters a lot. It's not like you can import new arms. It's not like you're going to be able to wave a magic wand and 3 new guys are showing up.
His talk is hard-hitting.
If I don't say it, no one will.
And he's earned the respect of the fans.
The audience is why I'm here. I'm only here because of you.
He is Mike Francesa.
Just be fair. Be a little bit fair. No one's asking you how you're doing it. Just get it done.
Mike Francesa, New York's #1 sports radio show. Weekdays at 1, right here on Yes.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The following is a special presentation of the Yes Network. Welcome to Yankee Stadium and the final home game in the 85-year history of this cathedral of sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for all the Yankee legends and for the grand history of Yankee Stadium. And now a new legacy begins. With an eye on the past, the Yankees have moved across the street, would have made sure to bring with them the memories that shaped the world's most famous franchise. The sun rises now on a new home of champions, as the Yankees have a sparkling new palette where the future will glimmer on a grand stage. As a season of change blows across the landscape, one thing doesn't change, never will, as the name remains the same.
Welcome to the new Yankee Stadium.
A new era in Yankee baseball begins, a new home of champions. It opened yesterday for a Yankee workout. People got their first look at some of the items from across the street, and some of the Yankee greats got a chance to see what their new home is going to play like and feel like, but they did bring the ghosts across the street. Speaking of across the street, it's just a stone's throw away. The old Yankee Stadium. And this is the new Yankee Stadium as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. Tonight, the Chicago Cubs beat the New York Yankees, and Yankees baseball on Yes presented by X-Men Origins Wolverine. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with Paul O'Neill and David Cone. I'm Michael Kay. Well, it's tough to leave the old place. A lot of memories there, a lot of championships as well. But if you're going to depart, you want to come to a place like this. This is a palace, David.
It's incredible. I mean, every view from every part of the stadium has an incredible sight line. I think the fans are going to be thrilled with the sight lines that they're going to get. The players are thrilled with their digs down in the clubhouse. You know, it's a wonderful place. I'm anxious to see a game actually played here, see how it plays out.
Now, the dimensions on the field are the exact same thing as across the street, Paul, but there is a different feel here.
Well, I think the foul territory we talked about a little bit, it could make a difference. And I don't care where you are. It could be a
across the street. And sometimes fields play different. I mean, does the ball carry the same way? Does the infield fast? Is it still going to left center field, the place as a left-hander wants to stay out of? There's so many questions, and it's going to take some time to answer them.
Let's take a look at the pitching matchup in this game. The game almost seems secondary. You got Ted Lilly, a former Yankee, going for the Cubs last year, 17-9, 4.09. Chien-Ming Wang, injury-plagued 2008, and he was 8-2 with a 4.07. He'll get the start for the New York Yankees. The place looks great. People are filing in. It looks like the weather has held up. A look at the Great Hall. We'll take a look throughout the game at all the great moments and great things here at the new Yankee Stadium.
The Parker Family Health Center saves New Jersey money by caring for the individual who is uninsured, who would otherwise have to use a very expensive facility, the emergency room. Horizon, in its sagacity, has provided us with monies to take care of people where they should be cared for, on a street level where no one's forgotten. No one.
Another level, and you never ever make a deal with the devil, yeah.
Rescue Me premieres Tuesday at 10, only on FX.
Sunday, Guantanamo Bay. Controversial is an understatement. This could be the final chapter.
The United States does not torture.
National Geographic has the story you haven't heard.
You were told you are now the property of the United States of America.
Both sides told from the inside.
I'm serving our country. I'm trying to make it safe for you.
Before its doors close forever. Explore Inside Guantanamo. Premieres Sunday at 9 on National Geographic. Channel 162.
On Yes.
New York Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Jeep, by Raymore and Flanagan. Get high-quality home furnishings in 3 days or less at RaymorFlanagan.com. And by Avis, the official rental car company of the Yankees. Well, the ceremonial first pitch took place moments ago as a Yankee Hall of Famer Reggie Jackson marched to the mound and unleashed the first pitch to Jorge Posada. Looks like close to a full house here at the stadium on what was an awful afternoon here in the Bronx, but it's cleared up to allow us to have the first baseball game at Yankee Stadium. Reggie delivers a strike. Chien-Ming Wang winds, kicks, and he's ready to deal. Let's do it at the new Yankee Stadium. And the first pitch is a strike.
It was a cricket strike that Reggie threw. It was kind of a one-hopper right to the strike zone.
And Wang deals inside as Aaron Miles skips rope, and the count is 1-1. See what Miles did last year. And he slaps one through the left side for a base hit. So it's an exhibition game, but that's the first base hit here at the new Yankee Stadium. Let's take a look at the Cubs lineup as put together by Cubs manager Lou Piniella. We know that Aaron Miles, the second baseman, leads off. Batting second and playing center field is Kosuke Fukudome. Derek Lee, the first baseman, will hit third. You see what he did last year. Milton Bradley signed as a free agent. He's the DH. He'll clean up. Mike Bondno, the third baseman, batch fifth. Giovanni Soto will catch. Reed Johnson in right. Ryan Theriot, the shortstop, will bat eighth. And Joey Gathright is in left field, batting ninth. So Aaron Miles on first, and here is Fukudome. And Wang deals outside. Wang missed a good portion of last year with a Lisfranc sprain, and he suffered the injury against the Houston Astros. He got a hit in a game where there was no DH, and then actually hurt himself rounding third and trying to score. That was a big blow for the Yankees. In fact, the battery right here is a big blow for the Yankees last year. Wang and Jorge Posada. There's a shot past a diving Cano into right field, a base hit. Runners on first and third and nobody out.
Only the first base hit you know, if you're watching it doesn't bother you because it's a ground ball, it's a seeing eye hit, but that ball stung pretty hard. And as a sinker ball pitcher, you know, when they start making solid contact, you know, you think that ball is not quite sinking the way it should.
You told you about Wong last year with the injury that shortened the season. 8-2, 4.07. Important guy for this team.
He is an important guy. He was dealing last year, and we'll give you the scouting report right here. Back healthy again. Showed in spring training. Threw very well. All of his stuff was there. All of his pitches. Added protection this year, obviously, with CC Sabathia and Burnett.
Big healthy cut by Lee.
You see Wong kind of slide down in the 2 or 3 hole. He's not counted on to be the #1 guy. A little pressure off of him. And better mix. What we saw last year, Paulie, is what you're saying. He started to mix his pitches a little better. Mixing in a good slider, getting some swings and misses. And everybody knows he's got a turbo sinker, and that's his best pitch. But when he gets into that pitching mode and mixes his pitches, he's a much better pitcher.
Trying to keep Fukudome close. Hey, this could be a little bit of a preview of a World Series. A lot of people in baseball think the Cubs and the Yankees could end up here in October. They actually met in the 1932 and the 1938 World Series. There's a fly ball, center field. Brett Gardner comes in. He'll make the catch. Tagging is Miles. He comes. Here's the throw. Here's the play. He's in there. A good throw by Gardner. Miles slides in just ahead of the tag by Posada, and the Cubs lead 1-0.
Well, if you think about it, it's a good piece of hitting. It's a great, Gardner stays behind the ball, makes a great play. I was wondering to see how it was going to skip off the grass. True. It's like Georgie Clark. I mean, these are the plays that, you know, you want your team to do, but you don't want to see them in a spring training game where guys can get hurt. That's just a good baseball play on everybody's part. There's the one we want. Did he get to the plate?
Wow, I don't know.
Still don't see it. I think Georgie did a good job there.
There's Milton Bradley. Last year with the Texas Rangers. He can play the outfield. He's the DH tonight. DH here in the American League ballpark. Bradley had a very good year last year. Played 126 games. He's injury prone. That's been one of the knocks against him. But signed to a 3-year deal by the Cubs. Pitch outside.
You know, Bradley's always carried that baggage where he just, something has happened year after year where, you know, he kind of gets off on the bad start with other teams. And if you look at his numbers with Texas, I mean, to me, that kind of reminds me of Colorado numbers. They're kind of blown up because it's a great place to hit, but there's no doubt in my mind offensively this guy can do a lot of things. It's just if Lou Piniella can keep his head in the game day after day.
You never question his heart. You know, he's rubbed some people the wrong way in his career. Last 4 seasons right there. And, you know, he's got a switch hitter. He's got a chance to really help this Cubs lineup out.
And the 1-0. Popped up. Left field. Johnny Damon is there, and he'll make the play. Hey, fans, throughout tonight's broadcast, stay tuned each inning for special sneak previews of X-Men Origins Wolverine in theaters May 1st. So 2 away. Now, Andy Pettitte yesterday actually threw his bullpen on the mound here at the new stadium, and David, he was raving about it. He said it's almost as if they brought the mound from the old stadium here.
Yeah, it did. I went out and took a look at it and stood on it, and it's just a great feeling mound. You know, your home mound should always feel that way. As a pitcher, you better feel good in your home park, or you're going to have a long year.
There's Mike Fontenot, a little bit low.
You can see right there in that shot, you know, the backstop is so close. You know, when you're on a good sloped mound on your home ballpark, you feel like you're on top of the hitter. You just feel like you can throw harder. You feel like you can see better. Your depth perception is much better as a pitcher. And, you know, I love the feel of that, as we talked about before in the pregame show. That backstop right there, you're right on top of the action, and I love that feel as a pitcher.
The old ballpark, 72-4. That one's grounded foul. And now 52-4, so 20 feet less. IO-TV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IO-TV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes.
I've ever seen that, but a guy filming the game from the dugout, other than maybe an all-star game.
That looks like a souvenir he's filming. Fondo slaps one the other way deep as Damon goes back and makes the play right on the warning track for the final out of the first inning in the new Yankee Stadium. The Cubs score 1 on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. The Cubs won, and the Yankees coming to bat.
All the things in your life, your father, the wars, the woman you loved, putting together a special team with special powers. Join me, but you will have your revenge.
Look what the cat dragged in.
Still shooting first, asking questions later?
Sit up and take off those glasses.
You're not an animal, Logan.
Ooh, shiny.
This film is not yet rated.
Well, Ted Lilly taking his warm-up tosses for the Cubs. Now let's take a look at the Yankees lineup that he's going to face. And it's a little bit of a different lineup. And Joe Girardi shook things up toward the end of spring training. Derek Jeter is leading off, and he will lead off this season. The captain and the shortstop out of the #1 hole. Johnny Damon goes down to #2. He'll play left field. Mark Teixeira at first base will hit third. Hideki Matsui DHs while Alex Rodriguez is out and cleans up. Batting 5th and catching, Jorge Posada. Robinson Cano at second will hit 6th. Xavier Nades in right field batting 7th. Batting 8th, filling in for A-Rod at third base is Cody Ransom. And Brett Gardner won the center field job for the Yankees in spring training, beating out Melky Cabrera. He will bat 9th.
See Ted Lilly's numbers last year in the 08, kind of a career year. 17-9, 204 innings pitched, 184 strikeouts kind of jumps out at me, and 239 opponent average, pretty good. The scouting report consistent. He's won 15 or more games each of the past 3 seasons. Gutsy competitor, Paulie. I remember him as a teammate on the Yankees. Well, this kid's got some guts. I mean, he's not afraid of anything. He's fearless on the mound. I loved his attitude. He loved pitching in the World Baseball Classic. He loves the fact that he's pitching here at Yankee Stadium tonight. Kind of a role reversal in his numbers last year in 08. Right-handers hit 219 off of him, and lefties hit 307. A little unusual for a lefty to give up that to left-handed batters.
Doesn't make much sense, but looking back, as soon as I remember the day that he met us in Baltimore. I remember going to lunch with him, and he was real quiet. You could tell he was nervous, but the first thing you notice about a young pitcher is, do they get hit hard? And the first couple outings, I mean, he lost or he gave up a few runs, but the balls weren't hit hard. Guys don't square the ball off of him. I mean, he's got an awkward delivery, kind of slings the ball around, and he's been successful. When he left here, you could tell he was going to win some games.
You see the flashbulbs go off when Derek Jeter swings the bat. The first Yankee batter. He was the last Yankee batter in the old stadium. Now the first Yankee batter here in the new stadium. The Yankees' new leadoff batter this year. Ted Lilly deals. Check swing and a high fastball. Did he go? No, he did not, said first base umpire Tim Timmons. And this is the first pitch by Ted Lilly. And not only the Yankees want pitchers, but everybody in the stands do as well. And the 1-1 inside. Paul, we've asked you this before. I mean, when flashbulbs go off in World Series, do you notice it when you're at the plate?
No, because, I mean, the only thing you're looking at is that little area where the pitcher is and the background, and what's going around you and beside you, you don't notice at all.
And the 2-1 upstairs, 3-1. Well, Derek Jeter has the one record that will never, ever be broken. He is the all-time hits leader at the old Yankee Stadium. No one's getting any more hits there. 1274, beating out Lou Gehrig's 1269. The 3-1. Grounded, third base, fair ball, past the diving Fontenot, and down the left field line. Kicks out to Gathright. Jeter goes to second, and he has the first Yankee hit here at the new Yankee Stadium. A double to open the first.
You know, Derek Jeter, as a leadoff hitter, he's going to swing the bat. You see that ball up in the strike zone, gets out and around, and hooks it down the line. And this is actually, Cody, if you think about it, a good way to get your last couple of spring training games, because there's enough excitement that you can concentrate, you can put together some good at-bats, and look forward to Monday in the real opening day.
Well, we've seen Derek Jeter kind of inside out that ball a lot, and to see him turn on that pitch on the inside, it's a good sign. Usually he's feeling good about his swing when he starts turning on that inside pitch.
There's Johnny Damon. He is the number 2 hole hitter for the Yankees. And Lilly deals. There's a strike. Damon has hit in the number 2 hole 85 times in his career. A .277 batting average, batting second. Last year, in 131 plate appearances leading off games, Johnny hit .272 with a .366 on base percentage and overall hit .303. Certainly a lot of debate about flip-flopping the two of them, and there are a lot of reasons why. I think Joe Girardi wants to go righty-lefty, righty-lefty, right down the line, and with Gardner batting 9th. This way you don't stack left-handers, Gardner and Damon, when the lineup becomes circular. High fly ball right field. Reed Johnson backs up. He's there. Tagging is Jeter. Here's the throw, and it's cut off. Jeter moves to third. Now here's Mark Teixeira coming up to the plate for the first time as a Yankee.
Now batting, first baseman, number 25, Mark Teixeira. Number 25.
And Teixeira signed an 8-year contract with the Yankees, gets a warm hand here at the new Yankee Stadium. The public address voice that you hear is that of Paul Olden. Bob Shepard still not able to work these games. He is not officially retired, and he is trying to get back at some time this season. Infield is back. Jeter is at third. And Teixeira takes a strike. Now, when Jeter came up to the plate, he was announced by Bob Shepard. He said that as long as he is a Yankee, as long as he plays, he will always be announced coming to the plate by Bob Shepard's voice. But Paul Olden doing the PA tonight, the first game here at the new stadium. You might remember Paul used to be a broadcaster for the Yankees for a couple of years, and then was a broadcaster for the Tampa Bay then Devil Rays for about 8 years. And he has long been the voice of the Super Bowl, where he does PA for all the NFL Super Bowl games, obviously. See what Teixeira did last year with the Braves and the Angels. And in his last at bat at the stadium as an Angel, he hit a grand slam. I talked to him about it the other day, and he said he didn't realize until his dad called him when he was on the bus. And here it is, that last at bat. It's a game that the Angels lost, a real slugfest between the two teams. August 3rd, 2008. Now, last year, Teixeira hit .467 with runners on third and less than 2 outs, and that's the situation right now with Jeter at third and 1 out. Cubs lead 1-0. We're at the bottom of the first inning. Lilly deals. Upstairs.
That's a mark of a really good RBI, man. I mean, those numbers are off the charts there when you talk about hitting .467, and then the other times he probably drove him in with a fly ball. I mean, situational hitting is such a big thing when it comes down with a team like the Yankees that has such great starting pitching. I mean, you score these runs here, get your pitcher back in the game or get him a lead early in the game. That could be the end of it.
There's a strike, so it evens the count at 2-2.
I was really impressed with him in spring training, too. He's a solid guy. He really fit into the clubhouse. He almost assumed a leadership role right away and protecting A-Rod and some of the controversies A-Rod went through this spring. And, he just seems like a great makeup, a great psychological makeup to go with obvious great skills physically.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. He blew a fastball right by him upstairs, so Teixeira goes down and leaves Jeter at third now with 2 outs.
Now, those are the bats that you walk back and you think, thank goodness this is spring training, because you hate to give it. And in spring training, you watch the pitches, you see that first pitch strike right down the middle. All of a sudden, Lilly starts elevating. He sneaks that fastball in. This is kind of a hanging slider or almost a cut fastball. And, Teixeira trying to get the ball out of the infield, just swings to the pitch a little up in the zone.
Here's Hideki Matsui. The DH, the cleanup batter. Fouls it back. Matsui is finally healthy. Last couple of years, he's had surgery on both knees. Last year, again, abbreviated season because of injuries. 294, 9 homers, 45 runs batted in. He will not even attempt to play in the field until June at the earliest, so he is the DH. And that makes Jorge Posada and his ability to catch imperative for the Yankees. Because if Posada can't catch, then he's going to DH. That means Matsui can't play, and that also means that Jose Molina's behind the plate, and your lineup becomes a lot shorter.
Well, they've really missed Posada's bat in the middle of that lineup last year, along with Matsui hitting now, obviously. Molina's a great defensive catcher. He's the perfect as a backup. It's what he came here to do. That's what he signed to be, and the pitchers love throwing to him. But if you can get Posada to catch, 3 or 4 times a week and fix in Molina in there, then they're hoping Posada can stay healthy all year.
And the 1-1. Upstairs, 2-1. So both pitchers, both Chin-Ming Wang and Ted Lilly, getting a lot of work here in the first inning. Yankees have been red hot in the spring. Only the Angels have won more games in spring training. The Yankees 22-10-1, while the Cubs are 18-16-2. Now the Cubs train in Mesa, Arizona. The Yankees train in Tampa, Florida. And the Yankees have not had a preseason exhibition game here in the Bronx since 1993 when they played the Mets.
Remember that one, too.
There's Lou Piniella, remembers the old stadium fondly. And that was the last full season in which the Yankees did not make the playoffs before last year. Right back up the middle, knocked down by Lilly, takes away a base hit and an RBI, and that's going to do it for the Yankees. Here in the first inning, a leadoff double by Jeter is wasted. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We played 1 at the new Yankee Stadium. Cubs 1 and the Yankees nothing.
Explore the full potential of your backyard with Maltese Pools and Spas. Whether it's above ground or in ground, our design team creates for you the pool you desire from a variety of sizes and freeform shapes. Maltese also has the sure way to relax and relieve your stress with one of our many soothing spas. Our water testing center and parts department help you maintain your pool and spa for years to come. Visit Maltese Pools and Spas. Why? Because you deserve it.
Things in your world. Spend some time in ours.
Where there's a security system wired, there's an EST.
Where there's a home theater installed, there's an EST.
Where there's a satellite disconnected, there's an EST.
Where there's a TV cable hookup, there's an EST, Electronic Systems Technician.
If you like working with your hands and keeping up with the latest technology, then check out our exciting Electronic Systems Technician program. You'll spend time training in an actual smart house built right inside our training facility. Call right now and get more information about our EST program.
Well, one of the amazing things about this ballpark are the grand concourses, no pun intended. I mean, they are so huge, and there's so many points of purchase, and you can actually buy things and still see the games going on. The concourses are actually on an average 32 feet wide. And look at the scoreboard. The scoreboard is just amazing. It's almost like what Paul has hanging in his living room in Ohio. That is some scoreboard. So that's 59 feet high, 101 feet wide.
Coney, could you imagine if we did the pregame on that big screen? The size of Michael's head up on that big screen.
Wow. First shot at the new stadium. You know, there's so much to like about this new stadium, David, but one of the things that I'm actually ecstatic about is that Paul O'Neill was denied entrance into the Yankee clubhouse because he didn't have a pass. To me, that made my day.
Didn't have my credentials.
On the old place, you used to walk around like you owned it.
That's right. I mean, we were talking about the clubhouse in the pregame, and I couldn't even jump in. I couldn't see it. I got to get a tour tomorrow.
Giovanni Soto swings and misses. It's amazing, Paul, because Paul had all those great moments at the old Yankee Stadium, but he's done nothing here, so he can't get into the clubhouse.
Right, I've done nothing. I was lucky to get in.
He almost turned around and went home.
That's right. I almost took my ball and went home.
Now, David, you got in. No problem.
I got in. I had a pass.
And also, you pitched the perfect game, so I think that transfers across the street.
Well, you know, if you're nice to the security guys, you know.
I got in, no problem. The security guys out at the gate were great.
Pitch is inside, so Giovanni Soto walks. Amazing crowd if you think about the day today. I mean, the day was just awful. A lot of people were wondering, was there going to be baseball at all? And this looks like it's pretty close to a full house. And it's about 3,000 less than the capacity for the old place. The capacity here is 52,325, and the old place 56,866. Here's Reed Johnson. Now, Paul, I would pay money, okay, if you would have a goatee like Reed Johnson up there on that scoreboard.
You get, I mean, like we're talking about the high definition. I mean, you get a good look. How do you go about growing one of those things? Look at that thing. It's like you took a mohawk, just a hunk out of your head, just stuck it on your chin.
Kind of going Eucalyptus on us. There's a 1-0. Grounded foul. Now, they say, Derek Jeter has always said that the infield at the old Yankee Stadium was the best infield that he'd ever played on. And after practicing yesterday, he said that this infield lives up to that. He said it's great.
Well, the field looks beautiful. I mean, it's in excellent condition, especially considering the weather that we've had around here in March. And the grounds crew at Yankee Stadium has always done a superb job of getting this field in first-class condition. It is certainly carried over. This is just a beautiful playing surface to go along with an unbelievable ballpark.
Now, I went down there to check it out, and I looked at it and studied it. I said, wow, this is Kentucky bluegrass. That's what it is.
You threw the Kentucky bluegrass at?
Yes, it's the 12 inches of sand base. They put it in last October. It's grown nicely, and that's the Yankee Stadium field now. Jin-Ming Wong deals the 1-2, grounded foul. Yesterday, the Yankees welcome home dinner. The entire team was there. David Cohn actually was there. That was a nice table you guys were sitting at. It was you and David Wells and Roy White and
Tino was
Martinez
there.
And Lee Mazzilli showed up.
We had a good table. We did. Problem is, we couldn't leave early until you announced us. The great Mazza was looking to bail out early. And I said, Maz, you got to wait.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss as Reed Johnson goes down and strikes.
There's that slider you talked about last year, Coney, that it becomes an out pitch. I mean, if you're a sinker ball pitcher, right-hander, boring in on you, all of a sudden you throw a little slider on the outside corner. It opens it up.
Well, it really does. And that's the pitch we saw him really improve with last year. And look at that. That's just a kind of a wave and a miss right there. And that shows you the effectiveness of his sinker. And if he comes up with this, goes the opposite direction, has tight spin on it, he's going to get a lot of swings like that.
Another two members of the Yankees rotation, Jabba Chamberlain and A.J. Burnett. Burnett has really taken an active role with Chamberlain. He says he sees a lot of him in Chamberlain. When he was young, tried to throw the ball through the backstop, and now he will throw 93 instead of 98. Ryan Terrio fouls it off. And there's CC Sabathia, signed with the Yankees during the offseason. A record-setting free agent contract for a pitcher. And he's going to start opening day in Baltimore on Monday, which we'll have right here on Yes. And then he will start the home opener on April 16th against the Indians. And he is the cover boy of the baseball preview issue of Sports Illustrated. If you have not read that story, it is a phenomenal story. And he's had an incredible life and gone through a lot of things to get to this point. So if you're a Yankee fan or a baseball fan, just a great story. I believe that the author is S.L. Price, and he found things out that you'd never read of before about CC Sabathia. He also uncovered that the Angels, now CC's from the West Coast, and he had said that he really wanted to play on the West Coast, and the Angels offered him a 5-year, $100 million deal and gave him 24 hours to accept it or if it was gone. And he didn't want a deadline like that, so he passed on it. Runner goes, pitch is popped up. Coming on is Nady, and they're two-way as Soto heads back. Hey, stay tuned during the 6th inning for a message from our good friends at the Fox Business Network. Here's Joey Gathright. Came out of the Tampa Bay system, played with the Kansas City Royals, and now here with the Chicago Cubs. He has a world of speed. Last year, a .254 hitter, doesn't have power, but he can steal bases. This guy has sick athletic skills. He actually, at one time, jumped over a car. Why don't we watch that? Wow. I have a hard time getting in the driver's seat.
The funny thing is, though, when it looks so easy when you're that athletic. I mean, if you or I mean, you'd go right through the window, just through the other side. Coney and I would try to like walk around it, but it looks easy when you're that athletic.
That is not an easy thing to do. I mean, that's amazing. And then to land on your feet, not tumble over. So that's kind of athletic ability he has. Runner on first, 2 outs. We're in the 2nd inning. Cubs lead the Yankees 1-0. Ground ball up the middle and through past the diving Jeter into center field. Soto will stop at 2nd, and Gardner gets the ball into Cano. So runners on 1st and 2nd with 2 men out. Back to the top of the lineup, and Aaron Miles.
See a sinker kind of drifts back over the middle of the plate. Wong takes a shot at it, just misses it. Derek Jeter takes a shot at it and just misses it. You talk about a seeing eye ground ball. No, there probably wasn't going to be a play anyway with the speed of Gathright getting down that line.
Yeah, we talked about in the pregame. I mean, a few things as a question mark as a hitter is, does the ball get through the infield quick? Does it, is it going to be a good hitter's park? In the first couple innings, you've seen a couple ground balls get by the infielders. And if you're a hitter, that kind of lights your eyes up, thinking, that's a lot of extra hits when you play on a quick infield.
Miles single to left field in the 1st inning. First hit here at the new Yankee Stadium. Obviously, these firsts are somewhat sketchy because these are exhibition games, and the real first will take place on April 16th, the actual home opener. There's the old-time manual scoreboard that they had at the old Yankee Stadium. That one's driven down the right field line. That could be trouble. It is trouble up against the base of the wall. Soto scores. Gathright speeding around 3rd. Here he comes. Here's the throw. He scores. And now they have Miles hung up. But he will get back to 2nd. Nobody covering there. It is a 2-run double for Miles. And the Cubs lead 3-0.
If you look at that play at the end of it, I mean, the only Gardner, I guess, has got 2nd base because you've got the first baseman and the 2nd baseman going out on a relay. That's just one of those weird plays in baseball. The fun part about this play, I mean, is the baseball aspect is just watching Gathright score from first base. I mean, his speed getting around the bases is something. Ball driven down the line. Like a decent pitch. He pulled his hands in, drove it down the right field line. But Gathright just opened it up. And right there, you see you've got a cutoff man. Jeet's got to come over. And the only person that could possibly cover 2nd base would be Gardner.
Gardner would have to fly in from center field. You're right. There's nobody left, obviously, with Cano out there in the outfield as a cutoff man with the double down the right field line. And you're right, Paulie. I mean, that's not a play you practice in spring training very much.
No. And that is the rotation play that had Jeter in place to flip the ball.
I was just going to say, in Oakland, yeah, in case it goes by, that's an infamous play.
Yeah. The one that got Jeremy Giambi trying to score. Mike Messina was on the mound. The Yankees were down 2-0 in that series in 2001. They were leading that game 1-0. Shane Spencer fielded the ball in right field and overthrew everybody, but Jeter was in place, and he said it wasn't an accident. He's supposed to be there. And there's a strike 3 to Focadome, and that'll do it here in the 2nd. But the Cubs get 2 more runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning at the stadium. 3-0 Cubs.
You can live knowing that the woman you loved was hunted down. Or you can join me, putting together a special team. I promise you will have your revenge. film is not yet rated.
After 86 years at the same address, greatness has a new home. Join the Yankees as they celebrate the inaugural season of Yankee Stadium on Friday afternoon, April 17th. It's Magnetic Schedule Day, and all fans in attendance will receive a 2009 Yankees Magnetic Schedule courtesy of AT&T. Yankee Stadium, the inaugural season.
You can live knowing that the woman you loved was hunted down. Or you can join me, putting together a special team. I promise you will have your revenge. This film is not yet rated.
On the cover of USA Today there's a story on baseball's new palaces in Yankee Stadium. Got the full treatment right on the front cover of America's newspaper. Now, Bob Lorenz will be roaming the stadium throughout the game, and I think he's down in the food court right now. Bob?
I am. I want to inform you and make you hungry at the same time, Michael. Interesting stuff. The Yankees and Daily News got together for a Glory of the Yankees photo collection. Daily News took 8 months, poured over thousands of archived photos, came up with 2,000 that ring the concourse. Just want to show you some of action shots, great stuff from the past, but also food stuff. How about this? Joe D. eating a little pasta with his mom, and then Yogi Berra eating Yogi Special. And I don't know that you can find Yogi Special here at the food court, Michael, but I'm certain you can find something that's good. You want me to bring you something?
How about a couple of slices, Bob? That would be good. I think Paul's here, too, so you know you have to bring a lot.
Yeah, a lot more than a couple.
Thank you, Bob. We'll check in with Bob throughout the game. And Kim Jones is also roaming around the stadium as well. And we'll check in with her throughout as well. It's 3-0 Cubs lead the Yankees as we start the bottom of the second inning. Here's Jorge Posada. Posada swings and misses at the first pitch. Count 0-1. Jorge coming back from serious shoulder surgery and really ahead of schedule. That was a ground ball through the right side for a base hit. So it takes the ball the other way, and Posada with a leadoff single here in the second.
We talked about it. Probably the one guy that could really help this offense more than anybody else, especially with A-Rod out of the lineup, is Posada. I mean, when he went down last year, there was a hole in that lineup, and it's nothing against Molina. He's supposed to do what he does, and that's catch as a backup catcher. But Georgie can do so many things offensively, especially as a switch hitter.
Posada's last game before surgery last year was July 19th. Had the surgery toward the end of August, and usually takes a year, but he has been catching, and he's been catching consecutive games, and he's been throwing the ball to second base, so he is ahead of schedule. Here's Robinson Cano. Now, you saw the 271 batting average, really a disappointing year for him. Then he got benched in the middle of September, and that kind of sent a message, because when he came back, his last 11 games last year, he was 19 for 42, a 452 average, and the Yankees are hoping he picks up where he left off. Yankee batting coach Kevin Long is speaking of a new maturity for Robinson Cano, and he came into camp in extraordinarily good shape.
I tell you, sometimes when you have and you look at his numbers, I mean, they're progressively getting better, and then last year all of a sudden you look and you just hope it's kind of a blip on the screen when you at the end of his career. But sometimes as a player, you get through a year like that, and in the offseason it finally sinks in, and it's almost an embarrassment that you didn't live up to what you felt like you could do. And
that one's driven deep to right field. That is the first one. See ya! A 2-run home run for Robinson Cano. Yankees on the board. It's 3-2 Cubs. Valuable souvenir. First home run at the new Yankee Stadium. First runs for the Yankees at the new Yankee Stadium. And Robinson Cano seems as if he's picked up where he left off.
You know, that was the thing about Robbie, is you'll see here the pitch. Lily's trying to come in and leaves it right down and in, right in the happy zone. And Cano is all over it. Just drills that ball. You know, he had a great spring last year, too. And everybody thought, you know, he was going to go. And it really became psychological, as you said, Paulie. And when it gets in your head and you start to struggle, then that's how you turn a slump into a season-long type of a slump.
Pitch to Xavier Nady is low and inside. happy fan.
Tony, we were talking about Lilly's inconsistently getting lefties out, and you saw that pitch. And as a left-handed hitter, that can really tie you up when a left-hander can run the ball back under your hands. That ball was supposed to be in. It just kind of stayed there. It didn't get inside, and that's why he's probably having a little trouble getting lefties, because everything he throws is going out towards the barrel of a left-hander's bat.
It's one of the hardest things for a pitcher is to pitch inside for strikes. It's easy to throw the ball inside off the plate.
80 rips one to third. Fontenot. One away.
But Greg Maddux, some of your greatest pitchers are the ones that can double up. Miss inside, come back in there. You'll see right here. Soto's setting up in there, and that ball's just drifting. As Paulie said, it's got a little left to right movement on it. Almost a little cutting action. Runs towards the barrel of the bat. And Cano gets it down and just drops the head. You see him out in front, gets extension, and he knows it right away.
And a happy Yankee dugout greets him. He's going to be important and integral for the Yankees' success this year.
Coney, you did say one thing that you noticed about the stadium. And if you watch Cano's home run, that went in the second deck, didn't it? So the third deck is probably out of reach, you think?
Well, I was anxious to see. To get your depth perception in terms of home runs and how far they're going to go and whether you're going to have upper deck shots like you had in the old Yankee Stadium, and that one did. That would have been in the second deck down the right field line. Apropos, I think it's apropos that the first home run hit here in Yankee Stadium ended up where the bleacher creatures sit.
That's right.
It's going to be interesting to be able to gauge how far the home runs are going to go. Second deck, possible third deck. It's going to take a real blast to get the upper deck here.
Well, that's one of the great additions to this new ballpark, the frieze. Some people call it a facade, which used to rim the grandstand in the old place that opened in 23. When it was refurbished, they moved it out to the outfield, and now it is above the field, and it looks great. Grounded left side, Fontenot. 2 away.
For me, the left center and the right center bleachers past the bullpen, it looks like an absolute bomb, but it looks reachable. I saw one ball out there in the old stadium, Encarnacion for the Tigers.
Yes.
When he hit out there. That's the only ball I saw, which out in left field, like out in here above the Sports Authority sign. That to me looks more reachable than the old stadium. So again, on a hot summer day when in BP and you see some of these guys launching it, it'll be interesting to see where some of them land.
Here's Brett Gardner. And he adds a dimension to this Yankee team which they haven't had in a while. Speed, pure raw speed. If he can get on base 34 to 35% of the time, he can steal 40 to 50 bases and give the Yankees a dimension they have not had in a long, long time.
He's just, you see his jam there.
And he pops up to Ryan Telio. But the Yankees get on the board. 2 runs on 2 hits. The first home run at the new Yankee Stadium. Ted Lilly deals. And Cano deals and settles it into the bleachers in right center. 3-2 Cubs.
So Monday, you order coffee from WB Mason. Tuesday, cleaner. Wednesday, a 12-pack of soda. And Thursday, packing tape. Well, the delivery charges must cost us a fortune.
Actually, Richard, with WB Mason, the delivery is free. No matter the order size. And we get it the same day.
And those are the reasons?
Of course. Why else?
Someone order paper clips?
Who but WB Mason?
One source.
Wonderful.
You want 6 fresh, delicious donuts for only $3? At Dunkin' Donuts, you can do it. Grab some Dunkin' Donuts to share with friends, family, and coworkers. For a short time, you can get 6 donuts for only $3. America runs on Dunkin'.
Paying too much for suits is now officially out of style. Buy one men's suit, get one free. But hurry in. This offer ends soon. K&G Fashion Superstore. Fashion without the victim.
Bigger, yet faster. More powerful, yet more fuel efficient. The laws of physics, merely loose suggestions. The Audi A4, truth in engineering. Experience the category-changing A4. Audi.
the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees.
Tomorrow, it's all Yankees all day long, starting with a special Mike Francesa show live from the new Yankee Stadium, leading up to the Cubs versus Yankees exhibition game at the Bombers' new home in the Bronx, followed by the season premiere of the Joe Girardi Show. It all starts tomorrow morning at 10, only on Yes.
First rain here at the new ballpark, but we play through as we go to the third on the X-Men's Origin Wolverine scoreboard. The Yankees are trailing the Cubs by a 3-2 score. 3-4-0 for Chicago, 2-3-0 for the Yankees. Chien-Ming Wang for his third inning of work. Here's Derek Lee, had a sac fly in the first inning. And the pitch is outside. Admit it, Paul, you want to be playing today.
It'd be fun to put yourself back, because it's weird now, because everything that happened in the old ballpark, you kind of throw yourself out there in a situation similar, but those days are over, Coney, because you're not going to go out and you're not going to know how the crowd feels, the field plays, so it's different for me up here also.
Got to get that juice at your member guest tournament at your golf course.
Yeah. I got to congratulate Mr. Trump, though. I mean, he won the club championship down in Florida, fair and square. I choked, but he won.
Was it a legitimate choke?
I think so. I mean, when you get to the 18th hole and you battle back and you're playing match play and then you lose on the 19th, I think that's it. You
double bogey? You doubled?
Double bogeyed, yeah. That's when I lost count. I probably had a double figure before it was over.
Derek Lee walks on 4 pitches. Hey, the award-winning Yankeeography series is now available as a beautiful 12 DVD set filled with more than 40 hours of New York Yankees legends and lore. The 12 DVD Yankeeography mega set can be ordered at Yankees.com. There's Milton Bradley. Derek Lee leads at first, held there by Teixeira. And the pitch inside. Chien-Ming Wang has allowed the leadoff hitter to reach in all 3 innings. A single by Miles, a walk to Soto, and a walk to Derek Lee. Wang 8-2 last year before the injury. There's a ground ball right side. Fielded there by Cano. There's one. On to first. It's a double play. 4-6-3. Turned beautifully.
I mean, that looks so smooth, but if you look at that, I mean, Robbie got like an inside, kind of an in-between bounce there. Just a great play. Turns a double play there. I mean, those are the things that are going to come back day in and day out if he gets his hitting going. It's so hard for a player to separate offense and defense when they're having a bad year offensively, but he's got as good as hands as anybody in baseball.
Here's Mike Fontenot. And there's a strike. Teams with good defense win. They get into the playoffs. And you can see over the last 25 years, now they actually have quantified defense. They've been able to put statistics attached to it. And the Yankee right side of the infield is not a bad infield. Mark Teixeira is a Gold Glove winner. A lot of people think that Robinson Cano has those skills. He should win a Gold Glove someday. When Alex Rodriguez comes back, they will have a total of 7 Gold Gloves in the infield, and Cano has not won one yet. Right back to Chien-Ming Wang. And he flips to Teixeira, and that's going to do it here in the third. 9-pitch inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and because of the double play, nobody left. Let's go to the bottom of the third. 3-2 Cubs.
You can live knowing that the woman you loved was hunted down. Or you can join me, putting together a special team. I promise you will have your revenge.